Hi, my name is Roshi Gaswala. This is our 10th episode in the Masters to Work series, and this one's going to be even more exciting than the earlier ones we've done. I have with me today a pioneer, technology pioneer from the manufacturing space. Uh, just not manufacturing space, the largest, possibly the largest player in the manufacturing space, Mr. Rajesh Uppal. He is member executive board IT and HR for Maruti, and Geeta Gurnani from CTO of IBM. Geeta, I have a new definition for IBM. You're not a tech company, you're the company that helps transform industries. As I've been working closer with you all, I've been noticing that how you have brought about a change in several spaces. BFSI, we want to understand more about manufacturing. So we have a transformation leader here who's 38 years young, experienced, 38 years experience, but young, and I admire his spirit, energy to keep on going and staying ahead of the curve. Sir, I want to start with a question on the industry to you. Y'all are the largest player in the automobile space, amongst possibly the largest two, three in the manufacturing space in India. Uh, and Maruti is a household name. All of us have either owned a Maruti or experienced multiple Maruti. I think every single citizen in this country. You all actually brought about the car revolution, auto revolution in India. What are you seeing, with the influx of new players coming in, current players adding more models, the market getting segmented tremendously? What are the key trends that you're seeing in the automobile space?
Thanks, Rashid, for getting me here today. Our industry, I think, is going through a major transformation at this point of time. Maybe once in 100 year kind of transformation. First is from a car technology standpoint, right? You're moving to a newer way of driving, maybe with hybrid EVs and other kind of thing. Also including connected cars and all those features are coming. So one is the big transformation happening from a point of view of the product itself. Secondly, I think consumers are also changing a lot from the way they want to buy, they way want to consume the car, they want to their mobility requirements and all. It's a second big change happening to their consumption of our products. It's the second big change happening. Third important change happening is the about the regulation from the government. Whether it's safety, whether it's emissions, and all those things around, which is again impacting on your product strategies and so on and so forth. But with all those things happening around, I think one major change I'm seeing, one major requirement I'm seeing is the industry itself in India. India still after so many years, still 3% of people are has car for their personal use around, and this number is much larger across the globe outside. So the opportunity of our industry going forward is phenomenally high, and I think the way the industry is growing right now, and post COVID, we have seen the market attracted toward the auto industry around. I see this industry growing phenomenally in next 5 years, and our thinking is that we reached from 0 to 2 million in 20 years. We reached from 0 to 2 million in 40 years of our lifespan. We see reaching from 2 million to 4 million in maybe next 7 to 8 years. Now that's the kind of change which is going to come in our industry going forward, and also it looks to be a very exciting time where the huge growth with lot of technology change, and we need to make sure it happens in the industry as required by our customers.
Thank you, sir. Geeta, as I said earlier, you are a company that's been responsible for transforming industries. What are you seeing in the manufacturing in the auto space, and what pertinently to India? What are the changes that you're seeing, and what sort of transformation are you all trying to enable?
So great, I think, and I think I'm just picking up from where Rajesh left because he spoke about scale, right? And I think we are all witnessing that any industry, right? When we're talking about digital transformations or transformation, I think technology is at the center for everything, right? There are two large areas which we are seeing getting transformed as we speak automotive. So one is of course driven by Industry 4.0, which is around smart manufacturing, digital supply chain, workforce transformation, and the biggest one, of course, now sustainability. Right? Saying that how do you become net carbon zero, right? The second area which we are seeing now, which I think is very more consumer centric, is the connected product and services. Right? We know Maruti has connected cars now, but people are expecting much more from that data and services. That what can one do with that? So I think we are seeing a big shift that when we're talking about connected product and services, technology will play a very critical role because now you are saying that your vehicle is software defined, right? Your vehicle needs software defined and it needs all technology to come in. There is also a need from people saying that since you know so much about me, give me more services, okay? Give me better services. From where, what is the, let's say, a restaurant on the way, I can pick up the food, all of that, right? So I think a customer engagement is going to the next level as technologies intervene. I'll probably talk about one example in each. So if I talk about, let's say, smart manufacturing, we are seeing with Toyota, we're doing that work where we do the zero defect from factory, which means you use AI, you use asset management solutions, which actually figure out that sometimes there are defects which are not close to be done by the humans. Now machines can do that, right? So we do use AI to figure out the defective pieces and then reduce that whole time then and there. And when it comes to the customer engagement, I think we are all now pervasive of bots. And how do you talk bots? I think it is so wonderful to see that I can just open the application and ask the bot like how to switch on the map service or how to play the music, right? So I think a lot of stuff happening from connected product services standpoint and as well as industry forward.
So I'll come back to you. Ever since I can remember, Maruti's always been a case study in terms of technology usage. You've been at the hem of it, so you kind of would know best. Right from the time I think you started, your adoption of technology has been used. It has been extremely large, and it's for manufacturing. It's just not for automobile. So it's been a huge journey, and you've kept ahead of it. Now with digitization, new technologies, there's AI, there's 5G. There's all of it. What sort of technologies are you all looking at deploying, at Maruti in this entire digital journey?
You are right. I think basic automation has become a hygiene factor. Whether it is the enterprise applications to be done, or maybe our extended enterprise like our dealers having connected to us, and you have a real-time visibility to what is happening around there. I think one big focus area we started on top of it is the whole digitalization of the whole enterprise. We're saying, okay, while we have lots and lots of transaction system available, how you can make sense of the data and how to create value for the company using digital technologies, where the efficiency is a big focus in the normal hygiene system. Now the new focus area is how effective you are as an organization. I think that's the area where we created a separate organization for running digital in the company. And my focus area on digital are multi-fold around. I think first and foremost is the whole how do you ensure that you get all data in one location and ensure that you create value out of the data as we go along. Now, the whole technologies around getting data, then using technologies to interpret the data and create right values out of that. Now, take example of cases, a single view of customer. Now you have a whole customer life cycle from the first car he bought with you, or the, how did you manage the car and all. It gives us so much information that you can be very relevant, and when you're conversing with him, you're very personal with him, to very specific to him and all, and you can assist your salesperson to assist him to do that. Or if he comes online to your various platforms you have, or in an omnichannel platform, you're giving a similar experience on any other channel to work around. I think this is one area of work. Industry 4.0 Geeta talked about, I think that has been a big focus area for us to ensure that how you will work on a real defect-free car and also a personalized car for each one of the customers we're looking forward to. and you are really running your plant very effectively and very efficiently with no paper in the shop floor and everything digital to work on. The end objective is you are effective, you are efficient in your manufacturing is the area we're looking at. The new technology like AI, ML and all are important for us. And again, using those technologies to be relevant for the customer, whether we have a bot to look at that and all, or if a customer is stuck, how can a bot help me to be mobile on the roads and so on and so forth, I think is the other area to work on. Last very important area of work is how the new business model could be done through digitalization. Now, I think there are a lot of customers who doesn't want to own the car. They want really to use the car and consume the car and mobility as a service and look at that. So how we can create a new business model using digitalization so that you are relevant to customer and all. So today we run something like subscription at a subscription marketplace. As a customer, instead of buying, you can subscribe a car from any subscription provider so that you can own the car for the time period you want, and after that you can give it back to us to work on and all. Maybe we run a finance marketplace. We're looking at a parking marketplace where you want to park your car and all. You seamlessly go and you know where the parking is available and you can pay online and do that. So we're saying what are the services or convenient services a customer want. You have those partnership ecosystem available and make it available on a app or on your car itself to ensure that you are not taking care of mobility, but you're taking care of experience of that customer in his journey.
He spoke about different kind of products, different kind of services. So next question is very relevant to that. Today, technology is enabling the intersection of industries to put together different kind of products that possibly didn't exist, opening up new markets, new services. As you mentioned, what are you seeing in the automotive industry? What are the possibilities that IBM is seeing that this intersection can enable for the consumers and organizations and enterprises too?
Yeah, and I think probably one of the finest example of that was the last year, I think around September timeframe, when we announced our partnership between a telco and a Maruti and IBM, right? So we announced this partnership around 5G, where we said that we will take this 5G private network to the Maruti factory and do the whole visual inspections, as we call, right? So I think telecom, absolutely, and this is the one case which I spoke about right here, right home, and similar things are happening globally as well. So telco, I think, is a very natural intersection which is happening. The other thing I think what I see now happening is that, as Rajesh was mentioning, that there are so many content, the applications which Maruti is giving on single platform now. This requires probably an intersection of even a content or a media industry. That how do you bring content to the car, right? So I think the intersection, and now think about the fast tags, right? We're talking about fast tags and how do you pay. So it's an intersection of financial industry also, right? That how do you do the intersection with the financial industry as well. So I think auto is interestingly evolving, I would say, because as it is becoming more service oriented, right? It's no more pure product oriented, it's service oriented. And as it is becoming service oriented, I think it definitely calls for interactions with all of these different entities which we speak. And probably there's a sort of inspiration from, let's say, a bank like SBI who launched YONO platform, which then became like a marketplace for everything. Probably same way, time is not too far that we'll see that Maruti has a marketplace, and then they will have content providers, they will have the telecom doing intervention. But I'll just touch upon one point which is important, which you said enterprise level also, right? Now, when you are dealing with so many industries and so many ecosystem players, it's important that how do you automate whole business process, right? One is Rajesh spoke about automation within Maruti, right? Now there's an automation required with ecosystem player also, right? Because that will play an extremely important role given that you are the end service provider, right? So that's a one trend which we see, that the business process automation end to end for a service is going to happen from a technology intelligence standpoint.
So let's talk about user experience. Now, I actually feel silly saying technology is all prevalent, transformations happen, but do you plan and how do you plan to, what technology do you plan to use to, enhance user experiences?
Okay, I think for me there are two kind of users when we talk about. One is end consumer, and also for me even employee experience also is the area to work on. So I think we have a strategies on both areas on customer experience and the employee experience and people on. Now, when we talk about customer experience, I think the area we are looking at is how do first we know our customer to the best possible way from any of the sources we have information. That's where our single view of customer come in, and using that customer data and using AI analytics on top of it, how I can be very relevant to him and I'm very prescriptive to him when I'm talking to him. You walk into a showroom, he has already done search on the offline online mode and about the vehicle he's looking forward to. How can I use all those data available and be very personal to the individual that this is kind of car you're looking forward to, and with all the information you become very specific to his conversations than being generic about the conversation you have with the customer is the area we are looking at from the point of view. That whole online experience and the offline experience should really merge together and all and become a single customer experience for the customer to work on. Is the area we are looking at. Along with that, this experience, as I said, should not be only at the showrooms, but it should be available in all the channels and all. You're talking about a single app for the Maruti Suzuki, or you're coming online over there, or you talk to our contact center. The experience should be very similar with same data, providing those insight about the customer, so that you can be very relevant to him and you are very specific and also very efficient for him to be transacting with us. I think that's the focus area for us to work on.
Wonderful. Geeta, we've spoken about several things, and once technology is bringing a lot of benefit, I often say that there is an entire industry of hackers, and that keeps creating issues. So, what are the cyber security implications? And, here we aren't talking of money is important, BFSI or banking transactions with money, but actually, it could affect life. So, what are the implications and what can be done, to ensure total cyber security? What is the idea of doing in that space?
And I think it's very critical, right? Because I feel that we call this security as a security at an operational level, right? Operational technology security. In industry term, we call it OT, right? So we are now calling IT OT convergence part of it. It's supremely important because I say that probably you are now bringing plant to enterprise, right? You're bringing all of that into the enterprise. You're exposing your plant from very extremely proprietary, secured system to the open, modernized system because you want to interact more with the plant now, right? And it comes with its own security challenges, absolute security challenges. I think the stage we are in, probably we were same stage as we started the internet security 20 years back, right? Because nobody that time thought about security. Everybody simply thought that, okay, let's make a website, okay, let's bring the clients there, right? Now everybody thinks, okay, now I have customer data. How do I secure customer data? How do I secure my infrastructure? What goes outside firewall? What comes inside firewall? I think we are at the same stage in manufacturing at a plant level right now, saying that first of all, do I know what is the risk I am carrying? Do I know how many of my systems are exposed in the plant? Because as you rightly said, that the plant hacking will be extremely different than what would be the IT systems hacking, right? It could be absolutely disastrous. And when I was looking into this, I think a simple example, if you think about that, see today, how do we try to stop hackers? First level is password, right? And after 3 attempts, you say that it is blocked. I can't block a plant, right? Set I can't block, saying that now you're blocked. You can't do this asset maintenance part of it because it's real time. I can't stop it, right? So I think the OT security needs to be thought in a very different way. And I think as a IBM, we are right now actually, I would say, working more at a strategy level with auto companies, saying that have you understood the risk of the different plants you have or the OT you have? The second step is that how are you creating visibility about it? Are you bringing all of this data to your traditional SOCs? Right? Now, CISO is also responsibility IT and OT both. So, are you bringing all of that to centralized SOC and take actions? And third is, of course, have a mitigation plan. Because as I said, what worked in IT as a mitigation plan of this password example may not work as a mitigation plan in OT. That you can't block a person by maintaining that part, right? So I see it's an emerging area. I don't see a lot of investment going in right now. I think it's an awareness. People have just started to look into it. Probably in another 12 months, as the dependency of the software world is moving, we are having more and more connected vehicles. It's an area I think where I would see definitely manufacturers making a lot of investment.
We haven't seen, fortunately, we haven't seen too many cases in the automobile space, but yeah, in this space also, he as well as y'all will have to remain ahead of the curve before anything happens. So, want to talk about MAIL, want to understand which is the Maruti mobility and automobile innovation lab that you're kind of set up. Can you tell us more about MAIL and what of Maruti's culture and leadership style and your leadership style has helped the startups that you're working with keep a sense of innovation and success?
Traditionally, big company like ours is always work with the partners and a typical process of RFP, selecting best vendors and best partner and all, and start developing something to work on. But the requirement of pace of innovation is very, very important for us. So that's where I think idea came on. How do you tap on the open innovation done by so many startups around, and how you organize our company to be agile enough to really work with them and all, and breaking all those traditional way of working, company processes of working with the partners to a working with startup. It's a big cultural change in the organization like us, and also it's a lot of new learning to work with. That's where we said, okay, let's start working with the startup community, and instead of look at the ideas from them and how do we really mentor them and work with them to co-create the solution for the industry in various technology domains, was the whole idea behind starting a MAIL program for us. Now, the way we run this program is we have an incubation team within our digital team working. We run 2 cohorts a year where we go to all young entrepreneurs and say, okay, what are the technologies, what are the ideas you have and all. And we run a cohort to really select maybe 3 to 5 ideas with them. We do a paid POC with them to help them to create the product. While doing so, our senior, domain expert mentor them to ensure that that product is fine-tuned and all. Sometimes those products get redefined also while development. But come a solution which can be implemented, onboard them as a vendor, and then start not doing in the same area or look for similar spaces in the company and start implementing horizontally into company and work on that. I think for last, we run 7 cohorts till now, 8th is right now going on. We have scanned around more than 1,500 startups in the team, and 56 out of them has become our we're selected for the POCs with us, and many of them have become our vendors now. And in the area domain of AI, ML, visualization, so any technology you talk about, I think we have a startup people working with us and adopting the solution in the company going forward. And many of them, we have started investing also into them so that they get confidence and they get working on. They're going out and selling the same product to our industry, but becoming a successful entrepreneur in the end to really create value for you and value for the industry per se. I think so far it's been a very, very successful program, and we are extending this program further from there to really work with not only the initial stage startup, but also mature startup and work with them and take them on board, which become much faster. And also we have partnership with organizations like T-Hub, NASCOM and all, and from where we can again source the startup. The objective is how to be agile and adopt the newer technology in the company much faster than a traditional way of doing.
Wanted to ask you about your leadership style, but let me kind of rephrase that question. You have 4 decades of experience. What's your advice to leaders to be successful? You've obviously been through various leadership styles in these 4 decades. Sometimes felt something is correct, and something else. Things have changed. This transformation. What advice would you give me, or to Geeta, or to our audiences on how can we be good leaders?
I think two important areas for leadership. One is you have to be creative or innovative. You have to keep doing things newer and newer all the time. Keep finding those sweet spots of improvement or new opportunities in the business to be ahead of the curve going forward. And then the one major problem I see in the technology industry is the life cycle of technology is much shorter. You do something new, your competition will do it maybe after 6 months or something. So how do you keep innovating regularly to be ahead of the curve is the one leadership style you need to have. And second important element is how do you create your teams, empower them, enable them to ensure that they deliver what you are looking forward to. I think that's the second piece of area which I focus on very consistently and ensure that they develop, they learn, and they start deliver that on the basis. Failing fast is allowed. Repeat failure may not.
Twice is a mistake. Beyond that, it's not. Geeta, for you also it will be quite. You want to understand your leadership style. You're the CTO of IBM. What's your leadership style? How do you carry along people who actually create technology? You work with customers. So what's your style? What's your mantra?
I think my mantra, I think I equate this to what I always call Lego style leadership, okay, or collaborative leadership. I think I'm very curious that how do I bring different people together to solve a business problem, right? And as you rightly said, that I'm responsible for all different technologies in IBM, right? So sometimes it's also a tussle between two teams, saying that mine's this and mine is better. But I think the keeping end objective in mind and creating that clarity as a leader, that what's the end objective we're working on, but then rallying around that idea with the collaborative leadership is, I think, probably is my success mantra. That how I've been leading the large teams or cross-functional teams, because we are a part of these large enterprises like IBM, right? Where I don't think so any work is possible in silo, right? So my first thing is that how do you look around and really bring everybody together, create that clarity and give them that mission.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of the interview. Thank you, Geeta. Thank you, Mr. Uppal. Been wonderful having you all. This is actually our first manufacturing interview that we've done in this series. This is the 10th interview. Exciting times for the automobile industry. Similar to other industries, the entire mobility space has changed, and I'm sure technology will continue to enable, find its way. Geeta has to help ensuring that things are secure. Okay, in this space, it's not so much in the view of I think the hackers as yet, but could soon get there. But exciting time for the automobile industry and the pace it's growing. Wonderful having you with us, Mr. Uppal. Thank you, Geeta. Thank you.